I did my independent living assessment with VRNE. I don't understand why we have someone from Detroit working with someone from Grand Rapids, VRNE. Those are two totally different regions. It doesn't make sense to me. But I know that my hour and a half meeting, or actually hour and 45 minutes, was a total waste of my time. There, and it was humiliating as well, and very frustrating. They, first of all, she said the form I used is wrong, and she used the same form that I did. Her questions are right from the form because I typed up my answers and I added a notary area in case it's for you needed to be used for court. Um, and she said, actually, we can't accept anything from you. That's not true at all. That's a lie. They're supposed to accept stuff from us. Medical records, answers to the DBQ, that's a lie. And that's if claims examiners tell you, oh no, we can't take anything from you, that's a lie. They're supposed to. They're supposed to take, if you type up your answers to the DBQ, they're supposed to accept it. If you have medical records, they're supposed to accept them, not look at them, accept them. So they can be scanned in with whatever contracting company they work with. But anyway, so she says that, first of all, they refuse to add TDIU or full permanent and total anywhere inside the unemployability letter they wrote. She discusses, how my health has affected several of the past jobs. Um, One of them was seasonal, though. Census is seasonal. But yeah, some jobs, health and other issues ended the job. Health and other issues. um, and then I have significant medical issues and, some endurance problems in certain situations, and that sometimes require a walker, and none of this is conducive for competitive employment, which, yeah, I mean, that's a given. But if I was at my maximum medical improvement level, we would have a better picture of what I can do. I'm not there. I'm not even close. Um, but they said we have nothing to do with TDIU. We're not going to put it in your unemployment letter, your unemployability letter. We're not going to be involved in it at all. That's not our job. They're the ones that are telling me that I'm unemployable because of my health and I should go on TDIU. But now they're denying it. Obviously, from my last conversation with this person, somebody got involved. Somebody got involved. I'm tired of my family living in poverty and my daughter suffering. I'm so damn sick of it. The VA makes me want to vomit, really. The treatment that's happened to my family, I want to vomit. I seriously want to vomit. I mean, I'm not saying that as a colloquialism. I really, really want to vomit. All the crap that's happened to my family. And she said, "Oh, you have to go get a VSO and then file your TDIU claim like everybody else." That is not how it works when the VA says it. This isn't me doing a claim for TDIU. This is the VA saying that I am unemployable. All the VA does is screw my family over. So many. I'm so sick of the promises and nobody follows through. I am so sick of it. I hate the VA. I don't think I would like working there. I would have a lot of enemies because I would put people on report. I would write people up. Um, because the way I see people treat veterans, people probably wouldn't like me. But I'd be just like I was in the military, just like I was when I was a defense contractor. I'd be the last one always out of the door, out of the gate. And I'd volunteer for everything. Yeah, I'm a company man. Just evidently, I keep encountering companies that don't want me. They'd rather target me. Yeah, and I don't understand again why Grand Rapids and Detroit VREs are working together. It's two totally different regions. And another thing, I don't like these ladies because I was lecturing them about what they're doing today, and you know that somebody said something or somebody had a nod agreement to screw me over because there was dead silence for 20 minutes while I explained to them this is why we lose veterans. This is why veterans are 22, why we have the 22 a day. This is why veterans get sick and we lose them because of crap like this that happened today. Oh, we'll help you get a power chair and toilet support. What do they call it? Toilet railing. They could take their lift chair and eat it. Oh, they can't even get you a power chair. They can get you a lift chair, but not a power chair because they don't want to. They want to leave it up to in this case, they want to leave it up to my local VA so the same person can deny me again. And when I see Grand Rapids is involved, that it's very interesting. Triple Canopy or XC, can't forget who lives in Ada. You know, every time I see Grand Rapids or Ada involved in anything that involves my life, it makes me wonder. The Prince family, who are investors in Triple Canopy and Constellus and XC, they have a very far reach. I don't like them. I've met one of them, no, two of them, and one of them I don't like. I don't like the father. The things that his company, the ideas, the ethos that they hold dear. Um, it's not about brotherhood at all. It's about profit. And about as far as ethical defense contracting. In my statements to Congress, and to the contract management agencies, which caused the retaliation, but still, I'll stand by the things I said, what I saw in theater. You know, I, I, if they want to really be a truly honorable and ethical defense contracting company, the you know, at least as of when I was there, they have a hell of a lot of work to do. And by the level of retaliation, I can't say that the company is involved in this, but why in the hell is Grand Rapids VRE involved in my claim when I live in Saginaw and fall under Detroit? So that's all I can say. I can't directly, I don't have evidence to point a finger, but I can just make a statement. I've seen people from the company appear every now and then and screw with stuff. And then I've had, somebody reach out from Grand Rapids and screw with things before. I've even been told, oh, yeah, that goes through Grand Rapids office. What? Various things. So, and I confronted them. I said, you refuse to do anything that's involving income, but yet you'll give me, durable medical goods. I said, you're treating me like a mental patient or by like somebody committed to the state. And she laughed. Well, I don't have anything to do with that. I don't think it's funny. I don't like these ladies. While I'm lecturing them, I had an asthma attack. And when I have an asthma attack around somebody, after that, if they have any involvement in it, I don't like them. I don't want to be around them. Because I do an incredible job of controlling my asthma and predicting when it's going to come so I don't have a full blown attack. I spend much of my day in many situations just trying to watch myself to see if a attack is coming. That way I can prevent them. And it is possible for asthmatics to prevent an attack. If you see the early warning signs and you take your medication quickly, you can prevent them. But after what I saw today, honestly, I want to vomit. My family's still in poverty. Only I have a lift chair and I have toilet railing. They can eat it. And they want to send somebody into my house to assess my 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 independent living after we just talked about it for an hour and a half. No, I don't trust them at all. I'm not going to let strangers come into my house when they're being sent there by people that don't give a crap if you're living in poverty. They don't want to get involved in what's supposed to be their job. When the VA initiates a TDIU claim, when they say you're unemployable, they're supposed to follow it through. You don't have to do anything. This isn't like a comp claim. You know, when a vet files for TDIU, that's treated like a comp claim. When the VA says something, you're disabled, you have a service connected issue, or you're unemployable and you should be on TDIU, they're supposed to handle it. Just another sign that people just keep screwing with me, especially at the VA. Just keep screwing with us all the time. While we live in poverty, while criminal scumbags keep using my identity in 5 different states. I don't know, who's the bulk of, doing this stuff. I know several people that are involved, several families too, but it makes me want to vomit in situations like this, keeping my daughters in poverty, keeping them at risk, especially the daughters overseas of human trafficking. Makes me want to vomit. I don't like the VA. And I think the VA in this country, I feel bad for the good people who are there who really want to help vets and have a great job, help veterans, and retire. The problem is so many of those good people, they don't speak up for veterans. They don't say a word because they're scared of being fired because the atmosphere of the VA is very retaliatory. Just look at the disruptive behavior system. That's that's based on CPS, Child Protective Services. That model comes from Child Protective Services. I've talked about that in another video. Someday, well, probably not. But if I was back in academics, I'd probably do some research and publish about that. The disruptive behavior system is modeled after the Child Protective Service or Child Protective Services um, approach that they treat a parent that's had the children removed. That's how veterans are treated. Exactly. Um, and and if people don't like you in the VA system, they leave their little notes in the system, and that way only employees, know stuff about vets. It's just like the disruptive behavior system. Then they're supposed to start posting all messages, even voicemails, even phone calls, posting everything. That way they can share information and they can organize against a veteran. Looks like that's what's happened to me.